أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقالت اليهود ليست النصارى على شيء وقالت النصارى ليست اليهود على شيء وهم يتلون الكتاب كذلك قال الذين لا يعلمون مثل قولهم فالله يحكم بينهم يوم القيامة فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون. And the Jews said that the Christians stand on nothing, and the Christians said the Jews stand on nothing, while they both read the same book. Even thus said those who had no knowledge, like what they say. But Allah shall judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning that wherein they disagree. وَقَالَتْ, wa and qalat said. Who said? Al-Yahudu. Yahud means the Jews. وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ, and the Jews said. What did they say? That laysat. Laysat means not. Right? So qalat, this is feminine. She said, right? Just for qala is that he said, right? And qalat is she said, right? So in the Arabic language, masculine and feminine sometimes, in the English language, for example, al-Yahud is the Jews, right? He doesn't have a, you cannot make it into a masculine or feminine, right? It doesn't have a gender to it. But in the Arabic language, it is a bit different, right? So words normally, they're either masculine or they're feminine, right? So al-Yahud is feminine, right? So qalat, if you were only asked to translate qalat, it will be she said, right? But when you read it in a context, وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ, the Jews said. What did they say? That laysat. Now, laysa means not, right? Laysat, again, is the, just like qalat, she said, laysat is again feminine, right? So laysat, not, an-Nasara, the Christians, ala, on, shay means thing. So what does it mean that, and the Jews said, the Christians stand on nothing, right? So ala shay, on thing, this is the split word, by the way, right? So what this means is that the Jews said that the Christians do not stand on anything, right? Meaning they're referring to the teachings of Christianity and saying that they don't stand on anything. And waqalat, and said, an-Nasara, the Christians. What did the Christians say? That laysat, not al-Yahud, the Jews, ala shay, on thing, meaning that the Jews do not stand on anything. Wahum, and they, meaning both the Christians and the Jews, yatluna, they read, al-Kitaba, the book, right? It says, while they both read the same book. So yatluna is the verb that they read. What do they read? Al-Kitab, the book. So up till this point, what are we speaking about? That waqalat al-Yahud, the Jews said that laysat in-Nasara, that the Christians, they do not, laysat, not, ala shay, on anything, meaning that their teachings, their beliefs do not stand on anything. Waqalat al-Yasara, and the Christians said in reply that laysat al-Yahudu, that the Jews, they do not, ala shay, they do not stand on anything. And Allah is saying, wahum, and they, yatluna, they read, al-Kitaba, the book, meaning the same book. Okay. Kazalika, kazalika. Again, this is two words. It will have a, you could say this is a combination, right? So ka means like. Zalika is this. When you combine the two, it becomes kazalika. In the Quran, you will see it in this way, kazalika, but when you do the split word, it means ka, like, zalika, this. Kazalika, like this. Qala, he said. Qalat, she said. Qala, He said, Allazina, those. So when you translate it as qala allazina, it will not be that he said those. It will be qala allazina, those people, qala, they said. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. Qala, split word is he said, allazina, those. But if you look at right, said those, right? Even thus said those. Qala, said, allazina, those. La, la is not. Ya'lamuna, they know. So la ya'lamuna is they do not know. One word is ilm. Ilm means knowledge, right? So la ya'lamuna, they do not have the knowledge, they do not know. Another word is muallim. Muallim means the one who teaches, who gives knowledge, right? Then you have another word, for example, ta'lim, right? Everybody's familiar with the word ta'lim, shoba ta'lim, the department of ta'lim, right? Which is responsible for the teaching. So ta'lim means studies or a course that you're going through, right? So ta'lim, all you can see, all of these, they come from one point, which is ilm. And then you can, in Arabic, you can then expand this word in many, many forms and shapes. For example, la ya'lamun, they do not know, right? So Allah is saying, qala allazina, those people said. Who are those people? La ya'lamuna, they do not know. Misla, like, qawlihim. Qawl means saying, right? Qawlihim is their saying. Now, what Allah is saying is that the Jews said that the Christians don't stand on anything, and the Christians said that the Jews don't stand on anything. Whilst they both, wahum they, yatlun al-kitab, they read the book. So Allah the Almighty is adding another group to this, which is kazalika, like this, qala allazina, those people said, la ya'lamuna, who do not know, they do not know, misla qawlihim, like they're saying. Qawlihim, they're saying, is referring to what the Jews and the Christians are saying to each other, right? That they don't stand on anything. So those people who do not have the knowledge, they do not know, misla, like qawlihim, like they're saying the same thing as well, right? So they're not changing. Those who don't have the knowledge of the book, they're also making the same statements. So Allah is saying, fallahu. Fa means so. Fa, so Allah is Allah. Fallahu, so Allah. Yahkumu. Yahkumu means he decides. Yawm al-qiyamah, yawm is day. Al-qiyamah is the judgment. So the day of judgment. Fima, fi means in. Fi, in. Ma, what? In what? Kanu, they were. Fi, he, just like so. Fi means in. He means it. Fihe, in it. Yakhtalifun, they disagree. You're all familiar with the word ikhtilaf. Ikhtilaf means a disagreement. So, mukhtalif, what does mukhtalif mean? Mukhtalif means different. Then you have another word, khilaf. Khilaf means against, right? So you can see that very, very similar. Okay. So yakhtalifun means they disagree. So what is Allah saying? That fallahu, so Allah, yahkumu, he will decide, he decides, yawm al-qiyamah, on the day of judgment, fima, in what, kanu fihe, in what, or in whatever matter they were, yakhtalifun, they were disagreeing. So it says, what Allah shall judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning that wherein they disagree. Okay, now let's look at the general translation. Okay, general is the translation for the entire verse. And the Jews said, وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ, the Christians, النَّصَارَى, stand on nothing. لَيْسَتْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ, not on anything. And the Christians say, وَقَالَتِ النَّصَارَى, the Jews, al-Yahud, stand on nothing. لَيْسَتْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ, while they both read the same book. Wahum, and they, yatluna, they read al-kitab, the book. Even thus said those who had no knowledge. Kazalika, right, said those, Allah is saying, allazina, those who had no knowledge. La ya'lamuna, they do not know, they do not have any knowledge. Like misla, like qawlihim, what they say, right? Qawlihim, what they say, or as the split word suggests, like they're saying. So one more time, where are we? Even thus, kazalika, said those, qala lazina, who had no knowledge, la ya'lamuna, misla, like qawlihim, what they say. Okay. But Allah, fallahu, shall judge, yahkumu, between them, baina, between, bainahum, between them, on the day of resurrection, yawm al-qiyamah. Fima, concerning, fi, or in that. But a more suitable translation that they have done is fima, concerning that, fihe, wherein or in it, kanu yakhtalifun, they disagree. Right, so you can see, if you guys, if you, the students who are listening to this, if you can get the hang of the split word translation, then when reading the general translation, you will find it much easier. Right, so I highly recommend that whenever studying the Quran and learning the translation, don't skip this essential part of translation whereby you go through the split word translation. It takes more time, but it's totally worth it, that when you read the normal translation, inshallah, you will find it much easier. So time permitting, let's do the next verse as well. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ مَنَعَ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ أَنْ يُذْكَرَ فِيهَا اسْمُهُ وَسَعَى فِي خَرَابِهَا أُولَئِكَ مَا كَانَ لَهُمْ أَنْ يَدْخُلُوهَا إِلَّا خَائِفِينَ لَهُمْ فِي الدُّنْيَا خِزْيٌ وَلَهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. And who is more unjust than he who prohibits the name of Allah being glorified in Allah's temples and seeks to ruin them? It was not proper for such men to enter therein except in fear. For them is disgrace in this world, and theirs shall be a great punishment in the next. Okay, so wa and man, who, azlamu. Now, the word you might be familiar with is, right, zalim. Zalim means one who does zulm, right, or one who does who is unjust, right. Zulm means wrongdoing, okay, or injustice against something. So you can see azlam means the most unjust, right? So zalim, if it means unjust, azlam means the most unjust or more unjust. So Allah is saying, waman azlamu, and who is more unjust? Mimman. Mimman, as you can see, that's not the way it is originally, right? So this is in fact min man. Min is from, man is who. Min from, man is who. So when you connect min and man, the meme in the middle suggests that this became one word, like mimman, right? So again, this is the beauty of the Arabic language. I'm just sharing with you that mimman is actually min from manhu. What is Allah saying? وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ, and who is more unjust? Mimman, than who or from who? Mana'a, he prohibited. In Urdu, for example, we say mana karna, which means, rokna, or as Fazan Samashla answered correctly, mana karna means rokna, to stop, right? So mana'a, he prohibited. What is Allah saying? Waman azlamu, and who is more unjust? Mimman, from who? Mana'a, he prohibited. Masajid Allahi, the mosques of Allah, or the temples of Allah. And what did he prohibit them from? An, that, yuskara, mentioned. Fiha, fi means in, ha means it. Fiha, in it. Ismuhu, ism means name. Who is his name? Meaning Allah's name. Okay. So what is Allah saying? Waman azlamu, and who is more unjust? Mimman, from who, or than who? Mana'a, who prohibits. Masajid Allahi, the mosques of Allah. But what does prohibiting the mosque of Allah mean? Allah explains, an, that, yuskara, mentioned, fiha, in it, ismuhu, his name. So mentioning his name means glorifying the name of Allah. So the translation will be, and who is more unjust than he who prohibits the name of Allah being glorified in Allah's temples. Okay? Wasa'a, and sa'a means he strived. Wasa'a, and he strived, fi, in, kharabiha. Kharab means ruin, right? Kharabiha, in its ruin. What is ha referring to? The ha is referring to masajid, right? The mosques. So what is Allah saying here? Allah the Almighty is saying that mimman waman aslam, who is more unjust? Mimman, from who, or than who? Mana'a, who prohibited. Masajid Allahi an yuskara fiha ismu, that who prohibits the name of Allah, ismuhu, the name of Allah, being glorified in Allah's temples, Masajid Allahi, and seeks to ruin them. Wasa'a, and he seeks, he tries, fi kharabiha, in its ruin. Ulaika, these are, ma, not, kana, he was, la, hum. La means for, lahum, for them. What will this mean? Ma kana lahum. Let's first translate this split word. So ulaika, these are, ma kana lahum, not for them, an, that, yadkhuluha, that they enter, dakhil, the whole, that they enter, ha, it. Again, ha is referring to masajid, the mosques. Illa, except, khaifin, fearing. Okay, khaif or khawf. Khawf means fear. Khaifin means fearing, or those who fear. So Allah is saying, Ulaika ma kana lahum an yadkhuluha illa al-khaifin. It was not proper for such men to enter therein except in fear. So Allah is saying that the most unjust people are those who prohibit the name of Allah being glorified in Allah's mosques or temples. The most unjust people. And not just that, and they seek to ruin them, the mosques. So Allah is saying, Ulaika ma kana lahum an yadkhuluha. It was not proper for such men to enter, an yadkhuluha, that to enter therein, illa khaifin, except in fear. For them, lahum, fit dunya, in the world, khizyun, Khizyun means disgrace. Walahum, and for them, fil akhirah, in the hereafter, azabun, a punishment, which is azim, which is great. ठीक है, जज़ाकुमुल्लाह। अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू।